Guys, what's it like this time of year when you guys have kind of settled into some roles and guys kind of know maybe when they're coming off the bench and you guys have some rotations down as opposed to earlier in the year where more guys. What is that like as players when you start having roles that you are pretty clearly defined you can buy into?
I don't know. You kind of feel like you're in a routine. You kind of know, like you said, what you're supposed to do. Coach was kind of talking to us about that. We're going to do our best when every guy's, is doing his best at his role. So we just know we got to come out and do what we can for the team, and that's how we're going to be our best.
Well, what's the process like of figuring out what those roles are and then growing into them, and then I guess the next thing would be accepting them?
I think just, throughout the year, you kind of figure that out with each and every guy, what guys are doing best, in their role. So,
yeah, especially late in the season. Late in the season, you kind of find out, you played a lot of games. You can see what guys can do, what guys can't do. Coach kind of lets you know what they expect out of you, things like that. So, obviously it comes with, just getting better every day in practice, doing the things you're supposed to do. When you get in the games, being confident and just taking care of your business.
Justin, do you feel like you have a difficult role?
No, not at all. Get in, shoot the ball, play some defense. No, I'm playing. No, not really. I'm happy with my role and what I do, and I try to do the best I can at what I do. So.
To clarify, is your role to shoot the ball or is it to score?
A lot of it's shooting. I've been shooting pretty well, so coach tells me to be confident when I get in. If I get a good look, take it. He's gonna be mad at me if I don't. Like you say, he likes the confidence I've been playing with lately, so he's got to build off of it.
Can you take us through maybe how much better you feel, or coaches refer to your back injury at times? Do you feel like this is the first time since you've been here, or first time this year, or just take us through like how you feel now compared to maybe what you were before?
Oh yeah, I feel great. Honestly, the first 2 months of the season, probably 3 months of the season, I just wasn't me. When I was out on the court in practice, I felt like I was just out there running around, honestly. I didn't have my strength really. My back would still be bugging me, and it was hard to get confidence when you're playing through pain. Obviously, with the injury I had, it's something you have to learn how to play through it. But yeah, most definitely I feel a lot better now, healthy as I've ever felt.
Justin, do you have like tickets framed or the program or something from the last time you guys played Iowa?
No, it's framed pretty well in my memory though. I got it pat down in my memory pretty well, so it was a good memory.
That was like it was a one-time crazy spurt, and everyone went nuts when he did it. And I know that's a really hard thing to replicate, but it seems like so far this year that you've been in, you've strung together maybe some more consistent performances. I'm just wondering, like, what's led to that? How have you developed that you've been able to be more kind of consistent off the bench rather than like super high and then
Right.
maybe not score?
Yeah, just staying with the grind. Obviously, with the injury I had, kind of had to take a few steps back and restart and reevaluate my approach to every day in practice. But I'm focused on continuing to improve it each and every day in practice. Whether that's an off day, getting in the gym and getting up shots, or getting in practice, working on my defense, things like that. But I would say my confidence is a lot better than last year. I feel more comfortable out there.
Kyle, when Justin says the development gets mad at him when he doesn't shoot, I'm sure that you see like his reactions to other people. How does it compare when other people pass up an open shot?
No, I tell Justin all the time. There's been a few times he's been open and hesitate not shooting. We get mad at him because the majority of the time that thing's going in. So it's funny though. Coach knows he's a good shooter. He's out there to shoot, so he's gonna want him to shoot it. But I wouldn't say it's anything too crazy.
Justin, since you've been back from your injury, was it the defense that sort of your injury hurt earlier in the year? Was it the shooting? What were you affected by when you weren't 100%?
Honestly, everything. I would say the biggest effect it had on me was mentally. Just not like it took a big toll on my head just because I wasn't getting sleep at night and everything. It kind of just put me in a bad place. So it took me a while to get myself back together and refocus on what's important and staying true to the process. But yeah, just my quickness wasn't there. I wasn't as strong. So it made it hard to do everything pretty much.
For either one of you, this game last year, because of what had happened in January, was a pretty big win for a team who was still trying to solidify a spot in the tournament. And here we are again, ugly January, but you guys have kind of rebounded from that. Does it feel like that same type of, almost like pressure, but same feeling of this is one of those wins that can kind of solidify our spot?
I think we think, you know, with every game going forward, it's kind of like that. You know, every game is going to be important at this point. You know, we got a great team coming up, you know, tomorrow, then another one on Sunday. So with every game, we got to come into that with that mindset, you know, that we need that win. You know, we want to play to our best every game. So I wouldn't say it's the same feel, but, you know, we're on a good roll right now. We just need to stay doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Justin, you mentioned how shooting is a big part of your role. How have you found that your shooting and your ability to attract defenders out to the three-point line has kind of opened up the rest of your game?
Yeah. I mean, obviously with, you know, the way I shoot the ball, teams can't really be gapped up that much off of me. I don't need that much time to get the shot off. I see it a lot more now. Now, obviously, teams are being able to scout me out because I don't really play much in the beginning of the season. Teams are starting, you know, almost scouting reports and stuff. So it's definitely different, but, you know, it opens up a lot more back cuts and, you know, I'm more active off the ball. You know, I got to be able to cut more. But, you know, it helps when I feed Caleb in the post because usually when I feed it, I just stay the same side and it really can't help off of me.
And you mentioned shooting confidently right now. Kyle said guys get mad at you when you pass up a good look. Just how much does that build your confidence knowing that they want you to shoot those all the time?
Oh yeah, it's great. You know, every time I get in the game, like I said, if I got a good look, I'm going to take it. You know, just knowing my teammates got my back, you know, they strongly support me, you know, and trusting me to take those shots. It feels good.
Kyle, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, about the motor that you play with, the energy that you bring to the court. Luka Garza, I wonder if that's a player I guess, what are your thoughts on him? And he seems to bring some of those things and he's a pretty energetic player. What is it like preparing for a guy like that?
No, yeah, great player. You know, I've been seeing a lot of good things about him this year. He's having a fantastic year. So, you know, someone who's playing with just as much energy and, you know, going out there and doing what he's doing is fun. You always, as a competitor, you know, you want to play against, you know, the best guys. So, you know, what kind of year he's having, you know, we're excited. You know, we're excited to go in there and play them.
What kind of challenge is it to have to match the intensity, the aggressiveness that he brings? I mean, he goes, you know, plays the whole game, you know, up and down. What does it take to match what he brings?
No, you know, just trying to go out there and do the same thing. You know, go out there and play with effort and energy every play, not taking plays off. 50-50 balls, all that stuff needs to be ours. So, really just going out there, not taking off plays and playing hard the whole 40.
Justin, would you say you have the green light? It used to be something you guys would say or talk about. I mean,
Not
you have carte
necessarily.
blanche to shoot whatever you want to shoot.
Not necessarily. You know, my job when I get out there is, you know, to take good looks. You know, keep the ball moving, keep it popping, keep the defense on their heels. I play off of other guys. That's what I do. They create shots for me. I don't create shots for myself. So, you know, if I get a good, you know, CJ or Dwayne, you know, drives on the lane and my defender gets caught lacking, you know, and they kick it out to me, I'm going to shoot it.
Is it going to be tougher because of the scouting? I mean, when they see you come in.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. You know, I know how much time I put in, how many shots I've gotten up, you know, so every time I get in, I shoot with the same confidence, and I feel like it's going in.
When someone like Caleb has the misfortune of just sort of losing control of the ball when he's alone on a fast break, how do you guys handle that when you watch film? Do you just like fast forward through it? Do you pause it and give him a little crap for it? Like how do you guys handle that?
Yeah, I remember we watched it and we were all laughing about it. There was definitely a joke made about it in film. I'm sure if we lost, it would have been a different, you know, scenario. But it was funny. It was funny to see it. I was actually laughing on the bench when I saw it. I couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious. But you know, he's a great guy and had a little mistake, so no big deal.
I mean, I'm sure that happens to literally everyone who plays basketball for any prolonged period of time. Like, how do you just? I mean, do you just have to laugh at it if you take it over something like that? It's like he played well and you guys won, so I guess it's easier. But
No, I guess, yeah, it's a thing that happens. You know, you're going to have plays like that. It's just try not to be hard on yourself about it and laugh about it and let it go at that point, yeah.
Gotta have a short memory, move on, get on the next play, fast game.
Well, one more thing about last year, when you're going into that Iowa game, I remember you were playing some more minutes. You were starting to maybe see a few things go down. Did you feel something like that coming? I mean, that you had a big breakout game in you when you got to that point of the season?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I knew what I was capable of, which is, you know, knocking down shots, and I got in the game, and, you know, the way they play defense kind of creates a lot of open looks for me. So it was a fun game, and yeah, I kind of felt it coming, honestly. I had a feeling going into that game. I don't know why, it was weird. But yeah.
You guys obviously give the players mindset more so than what we assume it might be, but are you familiar with this rule that they're trying to get through, that everybody in college could get one transfer, wouldn't have to sit out for a year, you could transfer anywhere you wanted to one time and be eligible immediately? I wonder what you think the impact of that would be on basketball with all the ups and downs that players go through during a year. And a lot of times I think that year where you think you're gonna have to sit out locks guys in and keeps them where they are, because nobody wants to sit for a year and not play.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it, honestly. I've seen a couple things about it, but from the way it sounds, I feel like, it's got to be to a certain extent, because otherwise there's just going to be transfers off the walls. If guys aren't playing, they're going to be upset. So to a certain extent, you got to find a way, to get through those hard times and, that adversity. But yeah, I don't know, honestly. I'm not making that decision, so.
I think that definitely, would affect it, because, taking a year off the game when you have a redshirt year and you're sitting out, I think sitting out a year of competing it might change you guys in ways, the way they compete and the way they play. Certainly we haven't seen that with like Siege or anything, but it might affect guys that way. So I think, just being able to come in and play right away somewhere can just help their game a little bit too.
Luke Darge is another player of your conversation. I was just wondering, I was interested, who's the most challenging guy that you've had to defend this year on the team?
I don't really think of anybody right now.
No, I remember last year Carson Edwards was pretty hard to guard. He ran on so many screens. This year,
Can't think of anybody specific.
no, not really, honestly.
Thanks, guys.